G'day everybody, it's Max and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere program. That's right, the holiday edition. That's right, this is where we go back and have a look at the games that we have played throughout the year. Producing some great shows on the channel. And of course, it would definitely not be a year of great shows if we did not have the Dyson Sphere program on here. And in this case, it is a special treat because not only is it the Dyson Sphere program showing up for the holiday, but it is the Dyson Sphere program, the 12 colonies. That's right. Though it's not 100% functional, I have gotten the 12 colonies loaded and working good enough to take a little adventure around the 12 systems of COBOL. And of course, we're going to have a quick look at our three most major systems, of course, which is the Maximus system, the Scorpia system, and then, of course, the Blue Giant of the PyCon system. And in that little bit of a nostalgia tour here for the holiday season, we're going to be talking about just the things that we got accomplished in the game, and of course, definitely going to be on the list for the next year, which of course there is so much more Dyson Sphere program that come along the way. Of course, one day they will have the combat system, which I'm hoping won't be too complicated because this is already such a beautiful program. I don't think they really need to add to be too complicated more in too many ways. It is definitely a great program. Let's start off our holiday tour and let's get in there and have a look around. G'day everybody, it's Max and happy holidays. And in this case, yes, I have gotten to work the 12 colonies. Now, it's not 100% working, and so we could end up with a few errors and a few bugs. But it's working good enough for us to do this holiday special appearance of just having a look at some of the games that we have played this year that have been on the channel and will, of course, be returning again next year. There is so much more to play when it comes to this. And, of course, we are here at the start. This, of course, is Planet Max. Now, for those who don't know about the 12 colonies, we used a heavily modded version of Dyson Sphere program to do just that. That's right, dude. You just keep circling around. You do a good job on that. This heavily modified version meant there were only 12 systems, and in this case, we took the names of the 12 systems. They're mostly named around the some of the different types of shows out there, things of that nature, like Scorpia and Aquaria and Terron and Leonis and all that stuff. And of course, Maximus, the Maximus system, that's my system, and Planet Max, which of course is where we started. Let's get out of that for a second. I should be still looping around there, right? I hope so. Yes, I am. I am still looping around Planet Max. Of course, as your starter planet, of course, you're going to do all the things. And you're going to make all the things. And then, hopefully you research all the things. And then you can finally start really getting in to the system. Now, the series had to end a bit earlier than I would have liked due to the fact of the major upgrades, the new major update that came out that included the blueprint system and a bunch of stuff there. And unfortunately, it did kind of break some things. Like I said, it's not running 100% efficient. I've got it working for our wonderful holiday special here, but I don't dare touch too much, right? It's kind of like you can look, but you can't touch. But let's have a quick landing here because this is where it all started. And, of course, one of the things I really, really want to point out is a beginner's mall. Now, I'm not usually a big player of malls. Of course, everybody kind of knows that, but I will admit, having yourself a mall when it comes to playing Dyson Sphere program is basically a must. And this mall here has worked out super awesome. It's kind of a Frankenstein hybrid mall, which does a big C loop within itself. I even learned a lot of stuff making this mini mall here, and the fact that I would probably make this C loop one wider to allow for a third row of machines down the center like this, and allow for more tracks, so as we could get high-end items to be pumped in here, and then those high-end items could then be shoveled around. But I mean, as for the way it worked, this mall was amazing, and I must admit it took care of a lot of our needs. Now the funny part was that as the time went on, we added on to this mall with some little side pieces coming down here. This of course is our Smelters Mall. The Smelters Mall is probably your most important thing that you'll build early game. The Smelters Mall, of course, has your immediate components of metal plating, has your steel, has your copper, which copper isn't really used directly, unlike other games, but you do need copper for making those initial chips and those initial magnetic rings. You've got to have copper for those. So you're going to use your metal and the steel direct, but you will need the copper indirectly to then use for chips and these rings. Of course, then you need concrete and glass, which of course allows us to do other things. Now, because we were making these basics for the mall up top, we were also able to use these basics a little later to make the more advanced components, things like advanced chips processors, right? Allowing us to make solar panels, which of course, very handy dandy, right? We of course then made hydrogen gas, because, you know, flying around on charcoal really stinks sometimes. We of course then use these things to make the purple people eaters, which of course allows us to make all kinds of the other things, and that allowed us to get into level tier 3 stuff, which of course we used many of to keep expanding. And I really should be careful what I'm clicking here because I don't want to crash the game. But that being said, of course Planet Max, its other function was to do all the science. And that's exactly what it does. It does the science here. That's what we do here. We do the science. I think the goal here, if my memory serves me correct, was to do 200 science a minute. So all of these are doing the 200 science a minute thing. You know, no matter what it is we're looking at here, I think it's all doing 200 science a minute. Now, of course, no science has been done here in a while. I don't think is there any science left to do? I don't think there is. There is. What? What is this? Plane filtering smelting technology unlocks a thing. Well, that's something new. Holy smokes. Well, anyway, that's a thing. Yeah, mission complete. Did I? Oh, I did. I never did do the mission complete on this. I guess I could. I have the 4,000 cubes for it. How are we doing for upgrades? Yeah, there was a few upgrades I also didn't bother doing for the last one. I guess it was just around. Oh, these are the infinite ones, right? So, of course, you know, you got infinity, research speed infinity, ray transmission infinity. So yeah, a lot of these, of course, once you kind of get done, it's all just about that infinity stuff. And so, though no real research has been done here in a while, it's all more around just kind of taking it easy on resources. The planet has been mostly used as literally a supply base for me. That's what's going on with it most of the time. But then, of course, we used it to then take them technologies, go off, build all the systems, and of course, to end up with the Scorpio system and stuff. But I mean, this is really cool. I mean, the Dyson Sphere program is just really cool. I mean, just look at all the coolness. There's just so much coolness going on here, right? Like, it's so cool. You know, coolness. There's just coolness factor all the time. It really is hard to put it in perspective. Hey, look at this. Yep, must be my these are fractionators. This must be a dilithium processing center. Yep, I recognize these fields. Yeah, the fields where we grow you. We are not made. And, of course, they are all being used up here in the green science and making the fuel and the things, which, of course, is keeping everything running hum-diggity around the universe. So, of course, this is Planet Max. This, of course, is where we started. Let's now go actually have a look at our main, I'll call it our main end processing factories, which is over in Scorpia. As much as I would love to do, a tour of all 12 of the colonies, the time alone, there just really isn't that much. I mean, we could, it'd be like a 5-hour special if we went to all the colonies. So our next stop is going to be Scorpia, and then, of course, it's going to be the Blue Giant of PyCon to wrap things up. So I will see you over on Scorpia. And we're going to have a quick look over there to see what's going on. But, of course, the old home planet of Planet Max, it's just always cool to come home, see how things are going, and, yep, it's pretty nifty stuff. I'll see you over there in a sec. Oh, yeah, the Scorpia system. Specifically, Scorpia 3. That's right, because Scorpia 3 is where all the final components are made to build a Dyson sphere. So, of course, as you can see, we have many rows of those solar sails being produced on a continuous basis. And as at this very moment, they are being launched over to the Blue Giant, of course, which continue to be launched through the guns. Now, of course, the other thing we do produce here is rockets. Now, I had stopped rocket production some time ago, and I've just been letting it all go into solar sails just because at the time we, of course, were running very short on time before the big upgrade. And though I do have the map working at the moment, it is kind of working a little haphazardly. So we do produce rockets here, but of course we're not continuously mass producing those rockets at the moment. I think I probably have 20, 30,000. Well, I gotta have at least a few thousand rockets stored up. Yeah, I got some rockets stored up here. I could actually go off and build a Dyson sphere somewhere. But of course, at this time we are not actually pushing these. And the other problem is, of course, is resources. Resources to get this done as quickly as possible. We really had to kind of push things to the limit, and a lot of these are just plain running out of resources. I would have to start tapping into new systems to keep everything running. Now, of course, with the emptying of certain components, certain other components aren't needed at the moment. So, of course, we're not pushing a lot of tubes at the moment or anything like that. Of course, the fields, that's right, of fractionators. Fractionators are the bomb, of course. My design of infinite deuterium production is amazing. We just keep producing deuterium forever. That's what we do. Now, the only trick to fractionators, of course, is their power consumption. It's it's not about it's not. Wow, they actually give you a counter on these now. That's actually pretty cool. So you can see we're getting about 1% out of this one, right? Hey, we're getting a little over 1% out of this one, right? So for each of these things just keep looping, right? You gotta love these fractionators. My fields. It's just like being in the Matrix. There are fields where we are not born, we are grown. Oh yeah, we pump that deuterium all the way down, of course, because then we use it. We use it to make all the rocket parts and the pieces. You betcha. So this is of course Scorpia 3, where of course we make all the things for the final components of rockets. But the Scorpia system, very important system, of course. We have the oceanic planet. It's doing a lot of the oil things. We've got the lava planet providing a lot of raw resources. The Gerasol also provides a lot of raw resources. Scorpia, great system. It's been doing us really well. Let's have a jump on over actually to let's have a quick jump over to the actual oceanic world. Is that whoa? Is that the Scorpio 4? I forget which one it is now. Yeah, that is Scorpio 4. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so let's go to Scorpio 4 for a quick little visit. Take a peekies around. Yep, jip. Let's go. There we go. Gotta like that zipping. We zip all the time. Zoom, boom. There we go. Oh yeah, what do we make here? We make stuff here. We make stuff on every planet. I mean, that's for sure. You know, it's what we do. We make stuff on planets by the bucket load all the time. And of course, as you can see here, we are making lots of that bucket load stuff all the time. It just looks so great. Just looks great. I mean, look at our oil fields. These are awesome, right? I mean, these are just awesome. Again, look at all this infinite. Look at all the infinite hydrogen just being made. Don't even have to work hard at it. You know, we take oil, we're pulling it apart, we're getting more than we're putting in. It's great stuff, right? It's the way it should be. Just great. Look at that. Look, in fact, it's so well that we're not even using half of this. I see. It's like a lot of this is literally sitting on idle standby. Now, of course, that is because a lot of this was going to production of other things here, but it was never quite enough, and we were borrowing from the gas giants to make up for the shortfall. Of course, those gas giants, they never run out, so they, of course, have been contributing their part into this big equation of mass stuff. So, of course, this is all pretty big stuff. But, yep, another great example of us taking a planet and doing things with it. And I must admit, this was a much smaller build than my first build. Well, you know, in terms of, like, I mean, we did, 1,000 machines on my last playthrough. And on this playthrough, of course, there's, there's lots of machines. I mean, obviously, each one of these rows has 6. And so there's like 12 in each make. So it's 12, 26, 48, 60, 72. You know, so you're looking at probably 300 machines here. And, you know, there's machines back on Planet Max. But it's nothing like the 1,000 machines I had going in the other one. But we got more efficient as time went on. I came up with better designs as time went on. And of course, we're using more gas giants in this playthrough. So of course, we didn't have to do that. I will, let's finish focusing this one up over at Scorpia. Of course, that is where all the magical things are happening. We take the resources and the things that we build here, we take them to Scorpia, so let's head on over there. And here we are out on the big picture. So, of course, the 12 systems of the 12 colonies are here. With the recent updates, it is kind of cool to see the ships moving between the systems. Now, again, when you only have 12 systems in your universe, the traffic flow, I guess, for those 12 systems, I guess, is much more apparent when it comes to just overall view. I mean, this is we are using the 12 systems quite heavily to keep things going, and of course to make all the things that we did make in terms of the giant Dyson sphere in the Blue Giant system and all the things. But I must admit, it is pretty cool just to be watching the ships kind of warping around as, of course, you're out here in the big system. Of course, I'll press the escape key, and here we are inside the Blue Giant itself, here on the only planet worthy of the system. And of course, there's me. And if we just go out here to the system a little bit, of course, this system only has one orbiting planet. And so we had to use. I do wish that the planet had been a little closer to the Blue Giant, but I mean, you take what you get when you get a system, right? And so, of course, we use this one planet to orbit our Blue Giant, and of course, as you can see, the ships are coming in and out and all about. Of course, Scorpia, a heavily used system of all the things. Of course, we have a lot of planets making a lot of material here, and then, of course, those materials are being shipped around. Of course, it's a really cool view to see just so many ships moving all the time out here with some really cool things. Virgon, of course, is another heavily used planet system. Here, though, Virgon's main priority is about supply. We don't actually make a lot of stuff here. We just take a lot of stuff from here. Virgon, of course, it's unfortunate that... Just tell me what the numbers are. I wish they would really do that. I'm pretty sure there's got to be a mod out there that'll just say, you know what, this is what's in the system. Because, of course, as you can see here, the reason that we're using this as a supply-based system, I mean, it's got all the things, right? It's got the crude oil. It's got the organic crystal. It's got all the acids and the waters and the things. It's just got so much stuff. You know, I mean, it's got 6 planets. You know, so we're taking all the things from here. I mean, that's a thing that was happening, that's for sure. Of course, our main home planet of Maximus, of course, where we get the start here on Planet Max. And of course, the ships that are coming in and out of there. Planet Max has had no resources for a long time. There are no resources left on Max. It imports all of its needs and gets all of its science done that way. And again, that is the goal of a system, right? You should now, you know, this system overall is mature. It's an old system, so of course it is importing all the things, which is pretty cool. So if I warp back out here, of course. We'll just do a little bit of a jump. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit of a flyby around here, of course, just to have a look at things as we get to see the day and night cycles of the planet and all the pew guns and all the things, which is all actually pretty cool. I mean, the planet itself is pretty cool. I mean, Dyson Sphere program is just pretty cool. Right? No fuel, huh? Well, it doesn't matter because we produce so much energy from the Dyson Sphere. They haven't had fuel in a long time, of course. But of course, we still pew them guns, right? Of course, the Scorpia system is still sending over truckloads of them satellites, and we keep firing them. We keep firing them off, just like any big Death Star. You betcha. It's I must admit, it is really cool to watch these things work. When you've got hundreds of guns on a system, it is really cool. Of course, I want to thank everybody for everything that happens this year. It's been a good year. Yes, it's been there's been challenges this year around my health and all the things of a personal nature. But you know what? Sometimes you're going to have challenges in your life. and there's two things you can do. You can lay down or you can get up, and I continue to fight on no matter what. And at the same time, of course, there are games to be played. Dyson Sphere, of course, will come in the new world, in the new year. And when it does, of course, one of the things we'll be keeping an eye out for is the combat component of the Dyson Sphere program. We'll be seeing exactly what that entails. Is it going to be overly cumbersome? Is it something that we can turn off or on or anything like that? There'll be so many more questions. And I look forward to that, of course. I'm Max. This, of course, is the Dyson Sphere program, the 12 Colonies. And I'm going to see you on the next one of the holiday specials. Take care.